Vehicles, Mullen Motors.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Husker Highway.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Welcome to Ticket Weeknights
on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in to the Husker Football Hour, Mondays at 6 p.m. I'm Austin Oerman, joined as always by Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. He's with us on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Aloe is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We can certainly make this an interactive show as well. If you've got questions for the World Herald lead sports columnist, Tom Shatel, you can send them in at 402-464-5685 or leave a comment on stream. We got Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter all up and running for you. So definitely leave a comment. We'll get to it as we have time. Let's go to that Aloe Fiber VIP line. Welcome in Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Tom, happy Monday. How are you, good sir?
Good. I got the week off. Well, not really off, but there's no football. Are you watching the Royals aren't on yet, are they?
No, 6:30. 6:30. We are stream only because we're carrying them, but I have my browser queued up to have that on in the background. Don't worry.
Well, feel free to multitask. If you need me to take over while you watch it, I will.
Sounds good. That's going to be at 6:30, so maybe I'll just bring you in at 6:30. You can just talk about whatever's on your mind for half an hour, and we'll call it good. We'll see.
It won't be about the Dodgers. I've kind of tuned that out. I can't do it anymore.
Did you see what Jurickson Profar did to those fans in left field last night?
No.
He went up and he robbed a home run off of Mookie Betts, and then he played it off for 10 seconds like he didn't have the ball. And then he started dancing in front of him. It was crazy.
Oh, my God. Yeah, everybody thought it was a home run. But, they dominate the division all year, and then they lose in the first round every year. It's just maddening. So I'm all prepared for another disappointment. So maybe I should jump on the Royals bandwagon.
Hey, there's plenty of room. We will certainly take you. I mean, especially against the Yankees, right? Big, bad, coastal, everything like that. You got your Kansas City ties, obviously. So for my money, you are more than welcome to jump on the bandwagon. We won't even charge you a ticket.
Thank you.
Of course. A little bit on Husker football. Lots to get to in the Big Ten as well. You mentioned the bye week, right? Nebraska 5-1 entering the bye week. Tom, it's blink and you miss it, right? Some of these games have been a bit of a slog in the second half. I mean, Colorado took a couple years to play the last 30 minutes. Northern Iowa kind of the same. Purdue, the first half was a bit of a struggle. But here we are already halfway through the Nebraska season. Huskers are 5-1. When you look at just the record of 5-1, is that about where you thought the Huskers would be at this point entering their first bye week?
Well, I kind of hoped that would be the case. I was not on board with this 8-0 or 7-0 deal. I heard some people complaining late Saturday night about it against Sunday. Well, yeah, we won, but I didn't like this. I didn't like that. Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? And I'm just shaking my head going, man, they're 5-1. Just win. I mean, I hate to be a bottom line guy right now, but I am. I mean, it's not perfect. They've got some flaws. But I love the way they bounced back after Illinois. And, if you had to pick a game, frankly, to a Nebraska fan to win before the season, it would be Colorado. And the way they took care of that, I mean, it was an unbelievable night. So I feel like they've got a very good defense that I can play great at times. I feel like they have a very good quarterback who can play great at times. And the turnover margin is way, I guess, up or down, whichever way you want to go. It's a hell of a lot better. And they've starting to learn to close these games out, not hand over the game. And Saturday, that was a classic example of a game that could have gone either way. And, a record has a pass go up the guy's helmet or something. That's what Nebraska used to do. That happened. Used to happen in Nebraska. So they had 2 punts blocked. Just all kind of stuff is happening, but they found a way to win. And I do not take that lightly whatsoever. I think these are all valuable lessons. Yes, they could run the game. They could run the ball better. Yes, special teams is just kind of weird right now. You see Brian Buschini out there having a hell of a game. Does Ed Foley does he not get credit for some of that because he's coaching the guy at practice every day? But then they can't block on the punts. They have 2 of them, and they didn't adjust. That's not good. And but they stop a fake field goal. They get a fake pump executed. It's all over the place. It needs to be a lot more consistent. But for going forward, I have my ideas of what's going to happen. I think they're going to go to a bowl. I do believe they're going to beat UCLA at home. After that, I don't know. The special teams will make you pause. The fact that they can't kick a field goal makes you pause. But I love the defense and I love the quarterback. and that's going to take them a long way.
Tom, I've heard a lot of the same comments I'm sure you have about the quality of play out of this Nebraska team. And I just go back to, I just don't know what fans have in their minds, right? I think they're so desperate to see something that's perfect or very close to perfect that they still don't understand that this is just what the majority of college football teams look like. Nebraska, if you look at all sorts of metrics, just kind of clumped in the middle, right? Where you see those moments of greatness and those moments that excite you, and you wonder, where is that more consistently? But you still have some of the downs. And that's just the nature of the game. You're dealing with 18 to 22-year-old athletes, maybe 23 in some cases. Nebraska has some strengths it can hang its hat on, has some weaknesses it needs to improve. But when you put it all together at the end of the day, this is a team that hasn't been, 5-1 or better in 7 years. And I don't think this is just a Nebraska thing. I'm sure there's, 50 or 60 programs across the country saying, if we could just get this ironed out, just get that ironed out. It's almost like, welcome back to normal college football, Husker fans.
Yeah, where did some of these people jump over the rebuilding process and go right to entitled? I mean,
right.
It's when they haven't won. This is earliest they've been 5-1 since 2016.
Yeah.
And again, I think they're going to get that bowl game. I think they might get more. I don't know what Indiana is going to be like. I don't know that they say they haven't played a tough schedule. I guess Nebraska's played a little tougher than Indiana. Certainly Illinois haven't played anybody like that. But also I look at USC. I mean, why does that have to be a loss? I mean, you just lost to Minnesota. I mean, and they are so up and down. Who knows what that'll be like by mid-November? I mean, you just don't know. So, and I can see Wisconsin, they could have the defense and a quarterback who's going to get better. I think there's a lot of possibilities out here. So, but you're right. There's a lot of, I mean, look at Alabama fans today.
Tennessee fans, Missouri fans.
Yes, Missouri especially. I mean, the press box Saturday, people keep asking me about the Missouri game. I'm going, what are you asking me for? When Missouri's winning, nobody asks me about Missouri. But when they're getting their butt kicked, everybody wants to know about Missouri. But, all right. So it's just like, yeah, they became a fraud. I mean, but again, they can come back in 2 weeks and be better, be something else. So college football and the transfer portal is absolutely. I mean, I made a great point of that today. It's just there's a lot of even teams and a lot of things that are kind of upside down from what they used to be, and it's a lot of it is because the portal is to balance things out. So, and I think what I do understand with Nebraska fans have always wanted to be a team that played hard. It played physical, but played smart and played well. And when we looked like they were coached. Mm-hmm. And there are moments, certainly, when they don't look like they're coached. And I don't know why that. I think that's just where they are right now, year two. I don't think special teams are terrible. They're just not helping. They're just sort of, they're getting in the way because they can't kick a field goal. And they have these really lapses of blocking and just things that aren't, it's not sharp. But yet, again, you see Brian Buschini and he's playing his butt off. Mm-hmm. He gets levels. I thought the guy was done.
Yeah.
And he's face down on the turf, the first punt. I thought, oh, God, now they don't have a kicker or a punter.
Well, Tom, I don't know if you saw the shots on the television broadcast. Every time they panned to Brian Buschini on the sideline, he was grimacing. He was wincing. He was working that back out, so he was legitimately in pain.
I know there's some with Ndamukong Suh in the house, you probably have to like whisper this. But I think even Ndamukong Suh can appreciate the effort of Brian Buschini and the way he made the tackle at Purdue. Give the guy a black shirt. He's give him something. Give him a. I don't know what kind of award they would give for effort, but he's threw a pass. He took hits. I mean, he made a great play at the end with his foot, 69 yards. I mean, that's the other thing. You know, our main guy, Sam McKinnon, wrote about it today. You know, Matt Rule did a nice job coaching that game. He's learned his lesson. That's kind of what I wanted to see out of year two is, have they learned some lessons? Is it perfect? No. Are they better? Is turnovers better? Yes. Are they more physical? Yes. Is the head coach not giving away the win in the fourth quarter? No, he's not. He's keeping the win for himself. He's done that twice already this year. I just feel like it's better. And I thought they'd be 7-5. So just get me there, you know. Would I like San Diego bowl game or whatever? I'll take whatever I can get. You know, I refuse to comment on the bowl projections. Mm-hmm. I will not be offering a comment until they're actually bowl eligible. But I mean, I do read them, I see them. So 5-1, and a lot of teams aren't. So I feel good about this team. I feel like it's a better team than last year, and it's on track to keep getting better.
There's a lot of different avenues I think we can spin off of this, but let's start with the fact that Nebraska is at 5-1. Last year's team also got to 5 wins. They only had 4 cracks to get to a bowl game. Could have had opportunities in all 4 games to get that elusive 6th win, but now you get 2 extra cracks at it, and you have 2 bye weeks to prepare to just take it 1 week at a time and get that 6th win, and then anything else that comes after it. As you look at this team and really the landscape of college football, just how important is it that Nebraska's banked these 5 wins out of the first 6 opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, don't you think that, you go back and look at last year at Michigan State, Maryland, at Wisconsin, Iowa, wouldn't you feel better about winning some of those games if you had this year's team?
Oh, for sure.
If you could take this year's team and go back to East Lansing, mm-hmm. which was kind of a weird game, wouldn't you feel better about Dylan Raiola in that game like that, or this defense? Same with Maryland and Wisconsin. I mean, all 4 of them. You'd feel like that they could probably win all 4 of those games. And which would have been 9. So are they going to win 9 this year? No, it's a little tougher schedule. But I wouldn't be surprised if they went to Indiana and won. I mean, Indiana's rolling. There's a lot to be said about confidence. And when you're confident and you have momentum, everything seems to fall into place. Every play seems to be made. Everybody does their job. But, let Nebraska go out there and hit them in the mouth a few times. And if it's a shootout, Nebraska's built for a shootout. That was what I wanted to know last weekend. Were they built for a rock fight? Were they built for every play matters, don't blink, it's about being physical. And you've got, chess match out there with Greg Schiano loading up the box on the punt, going after him. I don't know if they should have expected that or not, but it happened. I mean, some of these games, it's the other team has a coach and players too. I just feel like Nebraska's improved, and there are certain games where I think they're going to win in Ohio State, probably not. But I think that they could win. UCLA, they could beat USC. I think they can, depending on which USC shows up. Wisconsin comes here. Iowa, Iowa's, I don't know what they are right now. And I'm not sure that they know what they are right now. And but that game will be hard to win, a night game in Iowa City, the last one. But, again, defense and the quarterback making plays, it's going to be a pretty good thing to have.
Absolutely. Iowa's a program that just lost 2 of its top, 4 or 5 playmakers to the redshirt rule that just want to sit out right now. Caleb Brown, who transfers in from Ohio State, says, no, thank you, I'm good. And last year's leading rusher, LaShawn Williams, says, no, thank you. So every game on the schedule is an opportunity for Nebraska, to different degrees. But I think you hit on something important, Tom, with the versatility of this roster, right? You saw them in rock fights against Illinois, and then even first half against Purdue. Rules line of that was a close game until you decided that it wasn't going to be a close game anymore. 14-7 against Rutgers, felt every black and blue bruise from that one. But you feel much better about the versatility of this team, and that there's no defined formula of the defense has to be elite, and we just have to hope that one of our players breaks a run on an option because the defense forgets its keys. Would I like Nebraska to have more of a defined identity, either offense or defense? Yeah, maybe that's better in the long run. But as you're still figuring things out in year two, to be able to have confidence in an offense in a freshman quarterback like Dylan Raiola, to take the act on the road and feel somewhat confident about his ability to help put up points on the scoreboard, there's no way you feel that last year. Not a shot.
No. And I've heard people, Raiola's kind of he's not as sharp. He's not as good as he was. He's kind of digressing. I said, whoa. What he is he's a hell of a talent who's going through college football for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, he's last 3 games, he's faced 3 head coaches who are all very good defensive guys. I mean, Brett Bielema and Schiano are 2 of the best in college football ever on defense. And so they've shown him some stuff that he wasn't ready for, hasn't seen. And you know what? You're not going to make every play. But he's been resilient. And if he throws a pick like Saturday, okay, that happened. I'm moving on. Let's go win the game. And so I really like, the fact that he's going to take some lumps this year, but he's going to give some back and he's going to grow from it. So I just like to see a better run game, but I just think the run game is pretty good for the amount that they use it. It's so hard. And all the old guys will tell you, especially a lot of the old O-line guys will say, the running game happens because you work on it and you do it over and over and over. And Nebraska, nobody ran more than Nebraska did, back then. But that's how you get good at it. That's reps in practice, pounding. Nebraska stopped doing that when they hired Bill Callahan, and and they just had never gone back to it, and they still aren't back to it. And as we've talked, the strength is the quarterback and the receiver. So, Marcus Satterfield is going to go to that, and it's hard to argue with that. But it's sometimes you got to dial up the run game, and you haven't been pounding in the game, so they need a little bit more of that, I think. But I don't think we're going to get it. I think when they've been down on the goal line, at least, Illinois and this game, Rutgers, they had a 3rd or 4th down on the 1, or so they lined up and they went in, and I think it was Dante Dowdell. I think both times. Maybe it was Emmett Smith or Emmett Smith. Emmett Johnson.
That'd
one
be a
time.
boon to the running game.
Well, I'll take him. Yeah, I like Emmett Johnson too. But no, if so they've been able to do that. Last year, when they had to beat Maryland on the goal line, they couldn't do it. They had to throw, and they had an interception that never should have happened because they couldn't run it in. So. I like that part of this offense. It is more versatile. We like to see a little bit better running game. Yes. Rule wants more home runs. I don't necessarily see Billy Sims down there, but to me, the old home run guys were guys like Lawrence Phillips or Amon Green or Billy Sims or those guys that could hit the corner, and the next thing you know, you're 80 yards. I don't know that they have too many of those guys, but I love the fact that they can get the really hard runs, the tough yards, and I love what they're doing on the goal line with that. So that's another dimension they didn't have last year.
And they even proved it on the first drive of the game, right? Nebraska's side of the field, they go for it, they convert, they keep that drive alive. I would say that, Nebraska was a top 5 rushing offense in the Big Ten under Scott Frost multiple times. Cracked into the top 3 once or twice as well. But that's all that team had. Thomas, I look at this offensive line and this stable of running backs that Nebraska has. It's not worse than what Scott Frost has. Maybe I'm underrating the guys from the previous era and overrating this crew because of recency bias. But if you go down the line, man for man, if you go through the running back room player for player, Nebraska should have at least as much ability to run the ball, but they're not doing it, which tells me you're onto something, and it's philosophical more so than a talent issue.
Yeah, I think Shatel likes to throw. They haven't had the running back room is much better now than it has been. I think Dowdell was a big reason for that. And a healthy Ramirez Johnson, my goodness, when he gets the ball, he's on fire. He makes great moves and he's juking and he goes into there fast and he's full of energy and I love that. I don't. For a while there, I think they had injuries. After they lost to Vina Zigbo in 18, I just felt like the running game. They had who was the kid from Kentucky?
Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, he had played running back at one point, and that's the reason why he left. He didn't want to play running back, but they just. Here's the thing, they don't have a quarterback running game now, which is interesting, isn't it? We don't usually see that. Even the guys, the Bopolini teams always had a guy who could run. Taylor Martinez,
Tommy Armstrong.
Tommy Armstrong could certainly do it. And maybe it goes back to like Joe Gans or Zach Taylor, where we haven't had that dimension. But again, I think we just want to see more run. It's more, more success. I think it's been better, and I love it inside the red zone. And we've seen more tight ends, haven't we? We didn't see a lot of tight ends. Fidelity scored, but they didn't give it to him. But I thought he scored. But he's a playmaker, and the game a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was Purdue. They brought in. I think my mind cashes out on Mondays or something. But Nelson, they brought in him. They want to go over the top. And see, that's another kind of wrinkle I like. So. Anyway, it's not a running offense, but it can be, and I think they just Rule talks about they want to be physical, want to have offensive line, and they got to keep working on that. They got to get healthy, but they got to keep working on that, and they got to get some more guys in there. They keep adding to it. It's common, but offensive lines don't happen overnight. The guy, offensive lines they used to have, the guys had to wait 4 years to get on the field. So, it takes a while to get that thing built up. But in general, I like what the offense has been doing. A little more consistent, a little more second half. But you can't argue with second half of Purdue. And last week was just. I read some of the Rutgers articles, columns, and they were down on play. They were saying, well, they didn't play very well. So it's always interesting the perspective you get. I thought Rutgers did pretty well. Should have caught a touchdown pass, but it's just one of those games where we're two good teams, and that's what I like the most about where Nebraska is right now. They handled the big moment against Colorado. They lost. They handled the bounce back of that, and then when they had a game where it was, don't blink. Everything matters. They found a way to win. So in the wind.
Right.
Shiano said, I've never played in a hurricane. I've never had a game like this before where, usually if it's this windy, there's rain or something, but he said it was dry. He said it was crazy. But, I felt bad for all those people in the stands. I guess, they were so into the game. Maybe they didn't realize it was, 98 degrees, but who knows?
Hey, they'll sit through anything for a Husker win. We know that about this fan base. That voice you're hearing, Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. We'll go to break again. Send in your questions at 402-464-5685. We'll fire off some text to Tom when we get back here to the Husker Football Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
to The Ticket weeknights
on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Husker Football Hour on 93.7 The Ticket, as well as theticketfm.com. Streaming worldwide on our free app for your smartphone as well, because my beloved Kansas City Royals are just about to take the field against Carlos Rodon on the mound for the New York Yankees. We've got Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald here on the line. Tom, we'll go around the Big Ten here in just a sec, but there's some off-field news for Husker football and really Husker sports in general. Fans get a crack at cold one now. Regents officially approved it. It's in the works. Just your general reaction to, Nebraska finally coming over to the side of selling alcohol at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal, but I thought it would be bigger. I really, all this time we thought, well, it'll never happen. Tom Osborne would never let it happen, and so on and so forth. And it'll just be. I think they waited long enough that it's sort of okay. Everybody else is doing it. It's not that big a deal. It's kind of what everybody does, and it's funny how that works. Obviously, they've done it at the Pinnacle Bank Arena, which I find interesting. When I've been there for games, I pay attention, and the Husker basketball crowd is a excuse me, it's a popcorn and like a Diet Pepsi crowd. It's or regular Pepsi, if you will. You didn't see a lot of beer basketball. You just didn't. Now, Husker baseball, when they started that, I went to a couple of games after they got. I think it started it halfway through the season last year. Excuse me. And the beer lines were long in baseball, so I don't think they'll be that long in football. I think there'll be some people that do. The people are really into football, and they're there to watch football. They're not there to. It's not a party. It's a football game. Now, some are there to party. But I just don't think that between the prices and the beer lines, if you're on a beer line, you're not watching. You might miss something. And people tend to party a little bit before. Sometimes the game is a chance to sober up. But I don't think it'll be a big deal. I don't think it'll be a problem. I think it'll be policed by the fans. Somebody gets out of hand or out of order, the fans will take care of it. So it's like the seniors of a team. It's our team. We're taking care of every. The fans will take care of any drunks who get out of line. So. I don't think, and people have been bringing stuff in for years, right? So I don't think it's that type of deal. It adds up, right, Austin? It adds up. The money is an extra $3 million or $4 million boost. Well, why wouldn't you do that? And it makes people a little happier. I love the fact that they're doing the beer. Now, if they could figure out a way to get me out of Lincoln without, waiting a half hour to an hour after a night game, I'd be really happy then. We've solved the beer problem. Now we need to solve the issue of getting me to 10th and Cornhusker or whatever that thing is, and then you get on I-80. It's crazy. So.
Well, Tom, there's an easy solution for that. You're just too much of a professional to leave early like some of the fans.
Well, I'm a Dodger fan. I'm used to that. But I can't do it I'm working. I don't call it work, but whatever it is. But yeah, I can't leave early.
Well, the least I think they can do is if you can't leave early, you're spending enough time with the press box. Someone can sneak one up to the 6th floor. You can crack a cold one, and you'll be there long enough to have the effects wear off. So I think it's all in good fun.
The old days, Colorado used to have beer in the press box. Now, we never indulged during the game. We're always good. But after the game, you bet. And, we have that thing. Oh, is that thing open? Is that cooler open? Oh, look at that. I can't beer this beer. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look what just appeared in my hand. Oh, man, what can you do?
And there might have been a time in Missouri where we snuck into a suite and I kind of raided the cooler. I can't remember, that's so long ago. But yeah, it's no, they won't have it up there for us, but that's okay. We can do without. What it used to be in the NFL. I did the NFL one year. Every press box had like a bar in it. You'd go and have like one. Back in the day, Arrowhead had like a full bar in the press box. I'm like going for after the game, and people weren't doing it during the game. Maybe somebody was. But, I covered a NFC playoff game between I think it was Tampa Bay and the St. Louis Rams one year. I went down to St. Louis, and when I was in the auxiliary box, and the guy next to me was covering the game from somewhere, Dallas or somewhere, had a giant beer. He was drinking during the game. I'm going, well, I guess the NFL's a little different deal, isn't it? But anyway, no, we're not going to do that. But I think it'll be fine. I think, again, it didn't make a huge ripple, did it? I don't think people talked about it that much. I don't think it was a headline, but it wasn't like a giant controversy. It's just, okay, fine.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the biggest, feather in the cap for the people that were trying to push alcohol through is that it really wasn't that big a deal. They're not forcing everyone to buy a beer. It's not included in your ticket price.
Right.
It's there if a fan would like to buy a beer at the game. Now they can, right? Yes, maybe you smell like alcohol. Maybe there's an accident that gets it dumped down your coat when you didn't want it. Sorry, tough luck. That's what happens. But the positives far outweigh the negatives here. And I'm not necessarily surprised that it hasn't had that huge ripple effect you're talking about. When you look at the situation and judge it, Tom, was this just a matter of time, or was this something that Troy Dannon saw as an easy thing that he could push through as soon as he got to Lincoln? Was he at all instrumental in getting this, moved through the Board of Regents process?
That's a great question. I think timing, whereas Nebraska was the last Big Ten team to not do it, to me, that was shocking.
Yeah.
All these highbrow, arrogant, Big Ten, we're Big Ten, we wear Navy blazers and bow ties, and, I got all these tradition and fight songs. They all had beer.
And here's blue-collar Nebraska holding out.
That's kind of the Big 12 thing. I'll have a beer. No, Big 10. Let's go. So I think that helped. That they were, I don't know if Trev was against it or reluctant, but it sure went fast, and it sure got done fast.
and it's been in the works for a while. They've had the conversations, but maybe, it just took an outsider to say, hey, guys, come on. This is ridiculous. It's not going to hurt many people, if any at all. The positives far outweigh the negatives. What are we doing? Everyone's, chuckling at you. It's not a big a deal to laugh at you and say, oh, there's Nebraska, dragging its heels. They're the laughing stock of college football. But it's just a little thing that I think fits in the culture of, Matt Rule trying to tidy up the little things. Obviously, he had nothing to do with beer, but it's a good, point of alignment that Matt Rule's fixing the little things, and maybe so is Troy Dannon.
Yes, and I think there's a lot to that, and I also think volleyball day in Nebraska, and I say, well, I don't think there'll be long lines. The volleyball crowd that night, the line went from like the end zone to the 50 or 40 yard line.
Yeah.
The people in line for the bar. So, I think that helped a little bit. I think having it in basketball and last year baseball, and I know, again, I don't think it's just sort of what we do now, and it's and it's all about money, and the Regents understand money.
Right.
Well, it's $3 or $4 million. We won't have to cut out of the budget. We'll add to it, and with NIL, I mean, everything now is about NIL. It's everything now is like marked for that. So maybe he told him, hey, we'll sell beer. Maybe it'll buy us a quarterback. I don't know.
The new NIL is neutrals, IPAs, and lagers. That's NIL.
Yeah, and you put that on the sign of the beer line. Donations here for new quarterback. But yeah, I mean, yeah, and they can make it fun. They can have there's plenty of like local breweries. Lincoln's got them, Omaha's got them. So I make it fun.
Tom, Nebraska, Indiana can both sit back, crack a cold one if they want to this weekend. Not every team can. There's a lot of fun games coming up in the Big Ten this week, including obviously some future Nebraska opponents. It's going to be a good week to kick back and watch some football here in the Big Ten. I mean, a lot going on with Washington and Iowa. But how about this one? USC, marquee home game hosting Penn State, up to number 4 in the country. USC got its welcome to the Big Ten moments to start conference play. Michigan runs all over them, and then P.J. Fleck pulls a P.J. Fleck and beating them just on Saturday.
Yeah, I could see the USC-Michigan game was very good. Went down to the wire. Michigan went up by a couple of touchdowns maybe, and USC caught them and fought back. And I could certainly see USC going, well, what is Minnesota? What is this small little stadium? The Gophers, it would certainly look different seeing two teams with the same colors in that stadium. But yeah, they got to rebound, and they got to do it against a tough Penn State team. That's gonna be really hard. Interesting that we like to talk about the SEC and how great it is, and USC had no problem against LSU in Vegas. They had the problems. They're all in the Big Ten. So, yeah, you got this one. You got Ohio State, Oregon. Yeah. That's really intriguing because Oregon is sort of the standard of Pac-12 recently. And, I mean, this was the national championship game, I think, in 2015. Or maybe it was 14.
14, yeah. It was Zeke Elliott, yeah.
Yeah, so these are teams that used to be out of the playoff, and now they're playing maybe for the first of two times. Maybe they'll meet again in the championship game. I love it. That's what was an attraction of alignment, realignment, and expansion was, loading up the league, but you're loading up and you're playing a lot of these good games. So, OU Texas, I love this. I always love that. I can't wait. I'm glad I had the day off to watch that game. K-State, Colorado. That's gonna be a ball buster. I mean, K-State. Coach Kleiman is a North Dakota State guy, and they gave Colorado all kind of trouble in the opener, North Dakota State. So, but this will be like North Dakota State, only with a lot better players. And Avery Johnson, their quarterback, is he's kind of a runner. He throws, but he's a playmaker. And they've already lost to BYU. I love that game. Colorado's, they didn't get to really play off their big win at UCF. They had to, they had a bye week. So it seemed like that happened a long time ago. So, and that's the late show. I think a 9:00 start. It's a late one. So Saturday night. So yeah, I just, and there's so many others. There's a lot of good ones. But it's going to be nice to have a day off.
Absolutely, Tom. Maybe the game of the weekend, though, was Vandy, Alabama, right? The Bama goes to Vandy fresh off a win over Georgia. Vanderbilt makes some school history. Is there a situation in which Nebraska fans would tear down the goalpost and take him to Dead Man's Run or something? I don't know what river you're throwing him into. You're not walking him to the Platte or anything. Maybe Holmes Lake. But is there a situation where Nebraska would tear down goalposts, or is there too much history and tradition that even if it has been maybe a bit of a struggle for the last decade plus, Husker fans, are going to act like they've been there, done that before if they knock off an Ohio State or a Penn State in the next couple of years?
Yeah, they didn't even think about it for Colorado. They came out, but somebody pointed out somebody who was there and was there covering the game and wasn't usually there. He pointed out to me, it's a hard stadium to storm the field. You have to go through a lot to get on the field. So I've seen him do it. Colorado 92, Halloween, they tore him down. I don't know if they would now. I mean, I think there's a lot of history of doing it. They haven't won that many games. And who would they do it for? Ohio State? Would they do it for USC?
You're not doing it for Iowa. You're not doing it for Wisconsin, even if there are no quote-unquote rivalries. It'd have to be either a non-conference game or, a top 5. I think Ohio State, Penn State, USC is kind of the bar.
Yeah, and I think if they did that, they beat. I saw them beat Ohio State at home in 11.
Mm-hmm.
Rex Burkhead, going over the pylon. They didn't do it then. I don't know if they would. I think there has to be some emotion to it. You're a really, like Oklahoma in '78. A lot of emotion in that game. They were equals, but they hadn't beaten them. Colorado '92, anger. People were mad. Wanted to bury Colorado. You have to have a little bit of that. I don't think there's any of those emotions in this conference.
What about like Miami in 2014?
Yes, that happened. I don't. Did they tear them down or not? I can't remember.
I don't think so, but it's going to take a game of that magnitude. I mean, the way that game played out, as chippy as it was, I'm sure the fans were fired up enough to at least have given it an effort if they didn't.
I don't think there's any of those games available. Really not in the Big Ten or they beat USC, okay, but there's no really emotion to that. And really, USC's not really been on top, lately either.
The other one that comes to mind for me, Tom, would have been upsetting Michigan State in Mike Riley's first year. But the way that season went, it was cold. It was late in the year. And that Michigan State team got bounced in the first round of the playoff. But even that, I think, is Nebraska's last top 10 win. And they didn't even storm the field after that one.
You know what? What they did, though, it was really interesting. The team stayed on the sideline. They played the song. Everybody danced.
Yeah.
People in the stands danced. And the people and the players danced to the song. It was like, okay, we're not going to turn on the goalposts. We're going to party. We're going to dance. And so, and it was a really cool scene. That's fine with me. It's an interesting thing to see goalposts go down, and the Vanderbilt beating Bama, it would be like old K-State beating Oklahoma or Nebraska back in the 80s or something. I mean, by the time they got around to beating them in '98, K-State was good. They weren't like Vanderbilt. So Vanderbilt's something better, but I think that just is decades of history and agony and hammering the nail and the Bama brand and the Vandy at the very bottom. So I don't know what game. Is there a non-conference game that Nebraska would do?
Would it have to
I think
be?
It would have been Colorado. I think Colorado would have been the one. I don't think they beat Oklahoma a couple of years ago that they would have done it for that.
No, I mean
if they had played Alabama right now or Georgia, I don't think that. There's just no emotion to it.
If
That's
Texas,
a great question.
If Texas stays on top and you get a home and home with that, maybe the Longhorns.
There you go. And I think if they could have done it in 2010 on their way out the door, would that have been a deal? Yeah. Because there was no act like you'd been there for that one. They hadn't been there. And that would have been the one. I think that's a good call.
If we're going to have one of those in the Big Ten this year, Tom, I found the perfect candidate. November 16th, number 2 Ohio State goes to Northwestern, whose temporary stadium is right there on the lake. It'll take so little effort for Northwestern fans to get those goalposts down, just toss them right into Lake Michigan.
Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be something? Yeah, whatever happened to Northwestern? That guy was hot last year, and then Nebraska beat them, but they certainly were hot, and with the new coach, and we haven't heard much about Northwestern. Yeah, we usually hear something about them, and they just haven't been on the radar at all.
No, and I think that's pretty typical Northwestern, right? They won a lot of one-possession games last year, lost a lot of talent to the transfer portal. So I think they're just being very Northwestern about it. That's just kind of who that program is right now.
Yeah.
So, the other thing I wanted...
You got a Royal score?
Actually, yes. So Cole Reagans walked 2 batters in the first inning. He gets Aaron Judge to strike out, and then I believe Austin Wells struck out, and then broke Giancarlo Stanton's bat. So no scores. We go to the top of the second inning, Tom.
There you go.
Pretty interesting stuff there. Let's see. Salvador Perez coming to the plate. He's got pretty good numbers off of Rodon in his career. So, yeah, I've tried not to be too distracted there, but my heart rate went up. Don't know if you could tell as Cole Reagans was trying to work out of the jam.
Yeah, I thought the Royals fans were a little too vocal about the play at second base the other night. I mean, that's those things happen. But the one thing I'll say about this series is it's been hard to hate the Yankees for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they haven't really dominated. The personalities aren't there to hate. I mean, Aaron Judge is a hard guy to hate. I mean, Reggie Jackson and Billy Martin were not hard to hate. It's just a different, Goose Gossage. It just was a different deal. I think ever since Derek Jeter, he made the Yankees almost likable. I don't like him, but almost like him.
Derek Jeter was one of those polarizing figures, right? To me, I would say Mariano Rivera. People had very few issues with him. Kept his head down, did his job every day. But you have that left side of the infield of Jeter and Rodriguez. That's a double lightning rod right there.
Yeah, I just didn't. I never hated Jeter. I was always about respect. And maybe you kind of wanted him on your team, but I didn't really think of him as a guy that was, hated. But yeah, so we'll get it tonight. Have a little sweep, Royals Chiefs sweep.
There you go.
Chiefs will have their hands full as well. But we'll sweep tonight, and then bring the Yankees back for I guess Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon or whatever it is.
Yeah, I got credential. I'm actually headed down there Wednesday and hopefully Thursday. I'll be in the press box for that one. My brother's going to his first NFL game tonight, Tom. He's a Saints fan. My dad roots for the Chiefs and the Cowboys. So they are down in Arrowhead Stadium awaiting Monday Night Football right now.
This is a great time of year. I've always loved the baseball playoffs when there was college football going on. And, they used to play a lot of those games in the afternoon, and there was just nothing like it. So yeah, when your team is involved, especially with the Royals, I haven't been in there. It's just magical. So enjoy it all.
That is the plan. Tom, thanks a ton for your time. We'll do it again next Monday. Enjoy the Royals and Chiefs doubleheader tonight. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Austin. See you later.
Tom joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber. That's where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Royals have a runner on first base. Michael Massey lines a single to right field. Juan Soto nearly misplays it, but Rodon is out of the inning. He gets Tommy Pham swinging on a slider. Big thanks to Tom for giving us some of his time again tonight for the Husker Football Hour. Covered a lot of topics with him. If you missed it, pull up the YouTube broadcast, Facebook, Twitter, always available for you, or it'll go up in podcast form as well. Thanks to Tom. Thanks to you. Plenty more coming your way here on Ticket Weeknights. You won't want to miss it.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you.